How is everyone today? It's Chris here from TechTablets.com with the P98 4G. It's a tablet from Chinese manufacturer Teclast, and the overall tablet is very similar to the X98 Air 3G, although this is an octa-core and it's an ARM CPU and it only supports Android. Not a dual boot at all. Just wanted to show you a few things that there is GPS on board this. I'm indoors at the moment. You can get GPS lock relatively quickly when you're outside, and it does seem to support GLONASS, although it's not picking up anything now because I'm indoors. And internet, everything seems to work pretty smooth. I'll just show you internet now. This is the default stock launcher that it came with. There were a few Chinese applications there. I did end up rooting the device, so I got root access to it. I used a program called vroot. There is a download for that program on techtablets.com under the download section under Android root tools, I think is the name of the folder. So you can download that there, and it is pretty straightforward to root this. And I used that and Titanium backup just to remove some of those bloaty kind of applications. Whether it's going to help the tablet speed or not, I don't know. But it certainly can't help. It will definitely help, I mean, just to get rid of those bloaty apps that you don't need anyway. The wireless signal seems to be reasonably strong. I do have a comparison video against the Onda V919, and they were kind of similar, but the Onda was maybe just a little tad bit better with the Wi-Fi signal that it was getting. Could be due to their antenna design, but the antenna will be in this plastic back here, so it's not exactly like it's behind metal, which would struggle to get signal. It is definitely up here. This is the reason why they do have that plastic strip on here, and why the likes of the Apple iPad Air has that. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of browsing here within the tablet. If I can just quickly find here the browser. I think it's Google Chrome. This is the first time I've actually just signed in and used it, so you can see that it's just signing in there. You'll see how long that takes. Screen brightness now at the moment actually is turned down a little bit. I will just turn this up. So far the tablet does seem quite snappy. A little disappointed in the Mali T760 performance. I was under the impression that it was going to be a little bit closer to kind of like the Note speed, because the Note 4 has the Mali T760, but I later found out that the Note has like a 6-core version, and this is the cheaper version, of course. This is only the 2-core one, so that's taking a while to log into that. Skip that. So I'll just test out BBC, and we'll just Google it first, BBC, see how that picks up. Now the wireless does support 5G frequencies, so if you've got a crowded 2.4 wireless network, you've got a lot of people with different networks around you, maybe want to get on to 5G, then this will definitely be a good tablet to get for that reason. I'm just going into the wrong thing there. Don't want to go into that. That's Play Store. Play Store was working out of the box, which is good. I've had problems with other Teclast tablets that Play Store needed a bit of work. There's something wrong with the build pro. Had to fix and edit that to get it actually to work. But this is the BBC website. Seems to be pretty fast. I'll just have a look and see if I can load any videos. And whereabouts are the videos here? So okay, there's just go on. There we go. Should auto load. No, it's not auto loading. Okay.
The fate of Flight 9525 is no longer a mystery. In its final moments, the captain left the cockpit and the co-pilot began the fatal descent. Attention now is focused on why the co-pilot chose to crash a plane carrying 150 passengers and crew, apparently deliberately. Although we do already know a great...
So the accelerometer works, streaming Movies and things seems to be fine. Average speed of just doing most of the stuff you would do. There is phone connection, of course, and everything. I haven't actually got my SIM card in there at the moment. I will upload another video because I don't have 4G coverage where I live. I need to just go into town and get a little bit closer into the town center. There is a lot of 4G around there, so I will do some speed testing. I'll use the speed test and just see how well that works. Hopefully I can get onto the 4G, of course. It should be supported. And Quadrant, I've done a few benchmarks. There's another video on all these benchmarks. All of those apps I've already covered. And running video on there. I found out that my 4G clip here, I'll just show you now that I recorded on my Note 4. It runs, but if you can pick up on that, there's a little bit of stutter. It's not very smooth. It's a bit choppy. The audio is kind of cutting in and out as well, so that's not really the fastest. You can see right there. So 4K video, playing 4K video on the tablet seems to be a bit of an issue. Maybe it's something to do with the codecs as well. That could be the problem. I'm using MX Player here, and I did install the codecs for it, but maybe that's an issue. But there's a 2K trailer here, which is Gravity, which I normally run on these tablets I get to review. I'll just show you how that runs. Lost focus, there we go. So 2K video does work. This is a 1080p HD DVD clip. It's quite old, it's showing its age a little bit. So that's working. Everything else seems quite fine. It's a decent screen, of course. It's the same screen that is in a lot of these tablets in the Teclast X98 Air. So there's good view angles on it. You can see it is super reflective. It doesn't help. I've got overhead lighting here, but the glass, it is glass. It's a G+G screen, and there is that gap. You can see maybe, just like the iPad Air, if you go into a store and check out the iPad Air and then compare it to the iPad Air 2, you'll see that there is a noticeable difference between them. And that's because this is not a laminated display where the Air 2 is. And if you just look, you can see there's a bit of a gap, about a millimeter gap between the actual IPS panel below and the touch glass. The camera's having a bit of an issue focusing, doesn't like it, it's picking up more on the reflection. So that's something to keep in mind, but the build quality is good. I've tested out the headphone socket and I'm happy to report that there is no buzz or hum over that, which is really good. There's a couple of these tablets I have been looking at, the Teclast X80H in Windows had a buzz over that, and that was horrible. I mean, I hate to have audio and then you got an interference noise running in the background when you connect them up, which isn't the best. And it seems to be this is just a normal kind of stereo 3.5mm input there. So if you try to use a headset that's got a microphone on it, you're going to be out of luck there because it doesn't support it. You'd have to use just a normal headset, and then you have the mic on the corner here, which is good, of course, having a mic. You need a mic, but it's not so great having no support with the actual headset. I don't know why Teclast now can't start to use these plugs now, 3.5, that can support actual headsets and microphones. Is something they should really start to do now, because I've seen it now on all their tablets. It's really time for these Chinese manufacturers just to start using that, because if you've got an Android device that's got a SIM card slot and you can make calls on it, I know most people don't make calls. I've never made a call on a tablet unless I'm just testing them. But some people like to do it. It would be nice to have the microphone there, so you're not walking around having to hold the tablet up to your face when you're talking. And then you're going to look a bit weird. So look, someone's making phone calls on their iPad. It's not an iPad. Yeah, anyway. Gallery. just quickly show you some of my demo images that I use on these tablets. It all seems to be fast enough. That's from the 4K video I just showed earlier. Sorry, the focus was just out then. So that is fast enough. The images look good. Screen looks great. Same screen as I mentioned on the Teclast X98 Air. The same screen's on the Cube i6. It's on the Onda V919. The LG IPS panel that used to be exclusively on the iPad Air. And camera works. It's 8 megapixel camera. It's not the 13 megapixel camera that's in the T98, I think it is. And it seems to be fast enough. Just quickly try and take a photo here. I will post samples from the camera on techtablets.com when I post up a review, so keep an eye out for that. And the front-facing camera, and that is also working just fine. You can see my note for there. It's recording the video, and you do get quite a few options. I know that there is high dynamic range modes now, so there's a few extra features that are there, which is great to see, because I don't remember seeing this on the 5 megapixel camera inside the ROM on the Teclast X98 Air 3G. It didn't have these features. There's face detection. We have panoramic shot, scene modes, various other modes here. I'll just show you the settings of the camera. You've got face beauty, lots of things there, anti-flicker, that's all pretty standard. 8 megapixel shot, because I can't select anything there. Anti-shake, voice capture as well. I'm still in one of these other, I just need to go back into the normal scene mode. And you can see on the camera there is electronic image stabilization. I will post a sample of this up on techtablets.com if anyone is interested. Noise reduction, and do not know what those features really do. Obviously it's going to do something. Video quality you can set as high, medium, low. I'll put it onto fine, but I don't know whether that affects the frame rate. You might find that it records, I think, 1080p. I will definitely find that out shortly once I do record a clip, but I think changing these settings will actually affect the frame rate, which is not the best. So high might be 30 frames per second, fine might actually lower that. Hopefully not. And it comes with things like file manager, which you need. The available storage you get when you first boot the thing up is around about 26 gigabytes. So that's not too bad. It is a 32 gigabyte eMMC. There's plenty there. And you've got more normal things like the update. I tried to update this and I downloaded it with the Teclast over there update, and that didn't seem to actually work. Maybe because I've got root access now to the device that it didn't like that. So it came up with an error. It rebooted, went into like a droid boot mode and went to apply the update and it failed. So not too sure what's going on there. Otherwise, you might be wise to just dump the stock launcher and go with something like Nova Launcher or Apex Launcher, which are a lot faster and quicker. It's okay, but it's definitely not the best launcher. I don't really particularly like it too much. And one last thing is the DPI that it comes with is originally 320. So I've used this application here called Resolution Changer, and just change that to 264, which is the actual pixel density of the screen, which I find looks faster, and it just seems to be sharper as well, because running 320, everything's quite big on the screen. It just looks a little bit nicer, I found, this way. And there's a lot of other people who agree with me too on XDA forums that have set this DPI, or to use 240 maybe, or 260. The Onda V919 comes with the DPI set at 240, so that's what Onda went with, and for some reason Teclast likes to go with 320. That's the way they've set it up. So overall, the tablet seems so far pretty good. Dead Trigger 2 is not working. I don't know why. Some sort of issues there. Why that is, I do not know, but it just, yeah, that just crashes. It's just not going to work for me. And I have actually deleted it and reinstalled it, but for some reason it just will not boot Dead Trigger. Overall, GPS performance, yep, seems good. GPU, okay, a little slower than I thought it would be. CPU is very fast, and they have a good score on Geekbench. And overall, not a bad tablet, but I've been finding that when I have been turning the display off and leaving it for about 10 minutes, I can't turn it back on again. I can't do this. It's gone. It's gone. Just gone on me. Holding down the power button will just do nothing. That's why you've got that little reset button here. I have posted a video up of this. So I've had to use this reset button probably about 4 times now, which is really bad. So there's something about the ROM that is unstable. There's an early ROM. That's something that needs to be addressed. I don't think it's just my unit, but since it's only just come out, I haven't read anywhere else of people having this problem. And the Chinese sites that review these tend to be super biased, and they probably wouldn't even comment about that problem. They'd say that, no, yeah, everything's fine. They won't mention the fact that the ROM is unstable when putting it into lock and the CPU goes into a sleep mode or a deep sleep. You can't get out of it. So hopefully that's not a hardware issue. I would assume maybe it's something to do with software that Teclast need to address. Anyway, I think I've talked and blabbed on long enough. If you liked my little video, this hands-on and just look around at the P98 4G, please give me a like. That would be really nice, thank you. And do subscribe. I'll have more up-and-coming videos of this tablet and a few other Chinese tablets that I will eventually order once they're released. I'm also waiting to get my hands on the new generation of Atom Retina-powered tablets, Retina screen tablets, which should be coming out later in the year. So there'll be something definitely worthwhile looking into and checking those out, because I think performance-wise they'll be a lot better when it comes to gaming, because the GPU is going to be a hell of a lot better. So the new Atoms is something that's going to be really interesting, and lots is changing. This tech is changing really quick, and the Chinese tech companies are really onto it, just pumping these tablets out, creating new models. They have so many new models every year that are just coming out, so I will try and keep my eye on them and get as many as I can to review so you guys can check them out. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully see you in my next one. Bye for now.